Endless topics for collecting stamps and related items. France and area, as well as most all countries of the world, offer many overprint variations, as well as so many unoverprinted choices. But in all cases, we should always be cautious. The 4 FM overprinted stamps on the left are the first 4 listed in the catalog, number 1 through number 4. The enlarged view of the stamp on the right is obviously a fake when you compare the font of those on the left. In fact, no such font exists on any FM overprinted stamp in any catalog that I have referenced. The stamp color differences are due to the scanner. Germany. When it comes to expensive stamps of any country, we must be especially observant. Expensive stamps should really be accompanied by a certificate by a reputable expertiser. Very important. Or appropriately signed by a certified expertiser. In either case, make sure you decipher the cert and/or signature correctly. As listed by this auction house, the stamp is fine to very fine, hinged, original gum, catalog value $1,750, signed. Note, the initial reserve of $150 on this lot has been removed. Sold price $88.88. Wow, what a deal! Or is it? Yes, truly very lucky to see the backside of this stamp. Sometimes it is the backside that holds critical information. This is what the auction claims as signed. Right here and right here. That is true, except for one major detail. Here it is. They did not explain what all this means. This word translates into embossing wrong. And the vertical is the expertiser's name. Now this one I can only speculate on, but I don't want to do that. I'm very familiar with this type of expertization. And because the embossing is wrong, no certificate was actually issued because the value of this stamp is minimal at this point and does not justify a certificate. That's why you only have the signature. The stamp basically had its embossing changed from a large, inexpensive shield to the small, pricey shield of the first set of the German Empire. Very dangerous forgery. Bidding in the dark can be very costly. How about the auction house? Did they know? Then also showed the backside to perhaps claim their innocence, while some collector wasted good money or paid a high price for a fake space filler at best. France. Advertising tabs, also a nice way to collect. Or stamps with gutters, preferably full gutters, like here, these three. Unfortunately, the cancellations are not to my liking, but sometimes we cannot be too choosy, I guess. Or a single gutter, not a margin, but a gutter on this stamp, and a miniature gutter or misperf, whichever, on this stamp. And on the right, here we are looking at the back side of a similar sage type stamp, showing the different paper that was sometimes used. And this is referred to as quadrilled paper for some of you that are not familiar. So when they talk quadrilled paper, this is what it looks like. Sometimes you can even see it a little bit through from the front. And then again, we have some cancels. The French cancel indicates it is mailed from Paris and is going to Allemand, the French word for Germany. Yeah, very interesting. So, mail to a foreign country. The Austria stamp from Boson, right here, is an example of what is referred to as a thimble cancel because of its small size. You can see very small diameter as opposed to normal circular date cancels. They do also carry premiums, again, depending upon from what city and on what stamp. So they are definitely very collectible and favored by many cancel collectors. The thimble cancel actually did originate in Austria and was used in some other countries of the world. And this Cuban stamp was just a plain pen cancellation. A couple of imperf varieties of Spain. Some catalogs may not list them, but some do. Always keep them until your research has satisfied you. Argentina. These three stamps of classic Argentina are very questionable, and so you must be very careful. You see them actually in many worldwide collections. So I know they cannot all be genuine. And the characteristics here indicate that they are dubious, of dubious origin. The narrow C and some other characteristics, as some of the catalogs spell out. So check that closely. And also, always be aware of watermarks, the type of watermark, and the direction of the watermark. Are they normal, inverted, sideways, or perhaps reversed in any of these previous mentioned positions? These particular two are of the inverted watermark. And these two items have the watermark sideways. So there are variations. Some are listed and some are not. And again, I hope you might be generous enough to give me a thumbs up and hopefully do click on my subscribe button. I thank you very much for watching. Hopefully you've enjoyed this video, and keep in mind, always be observant, always check it until you're completely satisfied. My channel, Stamps Space My Fun Things.